this is the Additional Maths Test Paper 2022, and we're now looking at question 3. This question is now focusing on surd. So the first thing it tells us is that we've got a surd and it's being squared. So all I'm going to do is just write the brackets out next to each other, because it's so much easier to see what you're dealing with, and you're not going to make any mistakes by just squaring each value, because we know when we do FOIL and whichever method you use for expanding out of double brackets that there is actually more than just two things being squared. Okay, so expanding out of that, I've got 4 times 4, which gives me 16, and root 3 times root 3, which is going to just give me 3. So I'm just going to write that by there, write the 48 underneath. And then, so that's my first bit. My second bit, I'm timesing by 1, so 4 root 3. And again, I'm going to times by 1, which is 4 root 3 again. Then 1 times 1, we all know that is 1, and we've got that minus 1 happening there. Just simplifying the next part. So that's going to give me 8 root 3, and 1 and 1 just disappear. Now the question has told us to give us into the form of a brackets b plus the root of c. So the next thing I'm going to do is just simplify this. So it's really given us a clue here, because there's going to be no number in front of that root c. So I know 8 needs to go on the outside. Now, 48, so that goes, 8 goes into it 6 times. And I'm going to have root 3 by here. So my a is going to be 8, my b is going to be 6, and my c is going to be 3. No, you said root 3 then. I tend to write A, B, and C down just so I've got an idea of what is coming up, and I can clearly check them when I'm going through just to make sure it makes sense. And then let's just check on the mark scheme. So you had 2 marks here for your method, just for showing your workings of expanding out. So it was really important actually that was shown. Just put a little 2 by there. It's nice to see, isn't it? We then had a further mark, which was our A1 at this point for just showing it, and our last mark, A1 for here. There was an alternative method, so it's up to you if you've done that, but this was the method I went with for this question. Right, now we're on to part B. Go. So part B, it says rationalise the denominator from the following expression. It's got 1 over the 6 minus root 7. So whenever you've got to rationalise the denominator, don't be scared by that wording. It's actually a lot nicer than it is. All we do is change the sign of the negative to a positive. So it's going to be 6 plus root 7. Thinking about the last question there. And then 6 plus root 7. So the top straight away, I can write that out. It's a nice multiplication there, and we're just times these. So 6 times 6 gives us 36. The roots 6 root 7 and minus 6 root 7 are going to cancel out for us, and we're just going to have minus 7 there because root 7 times root 7. So that's what's happened behind the scenes. Finish that off. 6 plus root 7 is all over 29. As it says, show all your workings, maybe I would show a little bit more. So I might show that it's 6 root 7 minus 6 root 7 is happening, or 0, and I might show that root 7 times minus root 7 gave me my minus 7, just in case, just for filling that, just in case the examiner's asking. Okay, and the mark scheme, very small right at the bottom. So it's just making sure that I've got timesing it by the plus root 7. So I got a mark for that. And then the final answer is over 29. Perfect, got both marks there. So I didn't actually have to show these little bits of workings, but it's always good in practice just that it's done.